Hi, this is CK at CK Education, and today I want to answer a question that I get a lot from students and a lot of college students actually. They want to know, as I wondered myself when I was in college, I wondered, do the best students in college turn out to be the most successful people in their careers? And a lot of students ask this, man, what if I don't do well in college? It's going to mess up my career. I'm not going to be very successful and so forth. And this is exactly what I thought too. It was hard. College was very difficult for me, especially the first 2 years. And so I was not a confident, college student in my third and fourth year. I mean, I got a little bit more confident. I did better in the last 2 years, but because of my GPA, the first 2 years was pretty low. I was not confident that I was going to do great in my career because I just thought, like everybody else, that depending on how you do in your college years, your coursework, that'll determine how well you do in your career. But I can tell you, after, let's see, I graduated in 95 and it's now 2021. So from 95 until today, what I learned in my career and having worked a lot of different positions in a lot of different organizations and having a successful engineering career, I can tell you, it really had nothing to do with it. And if someone had told me back then, I would have been less stressed out. But I just thought, man, if I don't do very well in school, then that's going to kill my career aspirations and my career opportunities. This is not true. Okay, once you step out into your career, you get your first job, and you get your first job. After your first job, nobody really cares what school you went to or what your GPA was. That's in the past now. It really just is dependent upon how good you are at what you do. And so if you can just become really good at what you do, regardless of how you did in school, then you can be very successful in your career. So, I've worked with people from a lot of different schools, and some were top schools, very high ranked schools. I can tell you that in my experience, there's been no difference in opportunities or advancements or pay based on where a person went to school. It was dependent more on, and in fact, completely on your performance in the organization, how good you are at what you do. So even if you didn't do that well in college, just make sure that right out of college, you get a job. No matter what kind of job, just get a job. Don't stay unemployed for a long period of time. It's more and more difficult to get a job if you stay unemployed after college. So I would say get a job right away. And the best way to do that is probably go back and have internships in college so that you build your resume. But you want to start out with some kind of a career job, and then just be really good at it. Take it seriously. Don't slack off. Don't be like, well, this is just like a temporary thing until I get my dream job. Well, you may never get to your dream job if you're slacking off at this job. So no matter what job you have, make sure that you're serious about it. You do your very best. You perform at the highest level possible, and you take it seriously so that you do very well, that you have good recommendations, so that becomes a jumping board to your next career position. Okay? Don't ever take any job not seriously. Don't take any, no matter how temporary, or even if it's a part-time job. I tell young people, don't slack off. Don't be a slacker. Don't be lazy. Don't try to take shortcuts. Don't joke around. Take it seriously and do a really good job. And I can tell you stories of, I used to be a property manager and owned several homes, and I had tenants. And one of my tenants, I can tell you, she graduated from college and she couldn't really find a job. And so she went to work at Target, okay? And she was a cashier, just a cashier position. Now, a lot of, people in her same position, they didn't take it as seriously as she did. She took it very seriously because she wasn't satisfied with just being a cashier at Target. Though there's nothing wrong with that, that was not where she wanted to stay. So she took it very seriously, worked very hard, and moved up to supervisor and like shift supervisor. And then she went up from there. She took that very seriously. And then she moved up to assistant store manager. And then from there, she took that very seriously. And then she moved up to store manager. By the time I met her, she managed the entire Target store. And she was a tenant in one of my homes. And so, and while she was a store manager, she was going to night school to get her master's degree, and Target was paying for a large part of, if not all of her tuition. And so within a couple of years, she had a master's degree. And after a year of living in my property, she said, I'd love to, renew the lease and live one more year at your house. And I really wanted her to. She was a great tenant. But she says, I got to move to Georgia because I got a position. a promotion to become regional director of Target. She says, I'm going to manage 3 to 5 Target stores, and she got a huge pay increase, and she moved to Georgia. I hated losing her as a tenant. She was excellent, but she just, man, her career path just took off because she had goals and she took it seriously at every step. And she told me, she says, my goal is within 10 years to become a vice president at Target. And I have no doubt that she probably is right now. I don't know. But that's one example of someone just taking things very seriously instead of thinking, well, this is not my ideal. This is not my dream job. So I'm just going to wait until, I can't wait till I go home. Is it 4 o'clock yet? Is it 5 o'clock yet? And they're just doing the minimum. Never do that. Always do your best. Put everything into it. Take it seriously. Do a great job. And then you don't know what kind of other opportunities might open up like it did for this lady. And there are other people like this that I've met. And so I always say, but when you get out of college, whatever job it is, take it seriously, do well, and that might be a platform, that might be a stepping stone for the next thing, okay? But when you go into that thing, just work on becoming very good at that thing, and forget about how well or how not well you did in college, because that's not going to have much of a bearing on your career success at all, okay? I'm CK at CK Education. Thanks for watching, and until my next video, I hope you stay well.